Hi everyone, Shai here. I hope all of you are doing good. Welcome to another new video. Every country has its own set of beauty standards, whether they are right and attainable or not. Just Google search your country, and you'll find a description of who the most beautiful people are thought to be. But it's amazing how much those beauty standards differ from country to country. Africa's beauty standards will shock you, from neck rings worn as a seal of faithfulness to force-feeding girls. Here are some mind-blowing beauty standards across Africa. Number 1. Teeth sharpening. Body modification is quite popular in African tribes, but you usually think of ear stretching and scarification. Teeth sharpening is less commonly involved. This practice and ritual were particularly popular in Central, Eastern, and Southern Africa during the 18th century. However, it is still practiced among some groups today. It tends to be most prevalent in southeast Tanzania and northern Mozambique. Ethnic groups in the Democratic Republic of Congo also practice it. The reasons for shaping teeth in an unnatural way can vary from group to group. Some tribes do it to initiate young boys and girls reaching puberty into adulthood. It was almost like a rite of passage because they were at an age where they could endure pain, showing they were ready for adulthood. As we all know, being an adult is painful, so that checks out. In other tribes, teeth sharpening was just a general custom, and you were expected to have sharpened teeth to belong to a specific tribe. In Sudan, it was often carried out as a form of spiritual protection. If you were seeking spiritual strength or were to become a spiritual leader, you'd be lining up for this body modification. Teeth sharpening was, and still sometimes is, commonly done so men can look like animals, like crocodiles. In some tribes, women sharpened their teeth as a symbol of beauty. Number 2. Lip tattooing. Tattoos are common all around the world, so hearing that African tribes also get tattooed is probably not all that shocking. Still, the facial tattoos that the women of the Fulani people in West Africa get are a little different than most. Fulani women must have their faces tattooed before they are considered adults. They also can't get married if they don't have a facial tattoo. The tattoos are considered a rite of passage as a girl transitions from childhood to adulthood. It can also be considered a sign of beauty, fertility, and even a dowry. When Fulani girls reach puberty, they get the bottom of their lip tattooed as a sign of beauty. The upper part is tattooed once they're married, indicating to others that they're taken. The tattoos on women's mouths and lips are called tutu, and you can be mocked if you don't have one. Having one is a sign of bravery. To be fair, you would have to be brave to get one because the process is quite brutal. A fine, hot needle with natural ink is used. Their mouths are so swollen after the tattooing that they must only be fed liquids for about 3 weeks. Number 3. Bottle top wigs. We produce a lot of trash. Most of it ends up in landfills and, sadly, the ocean. However, an African tribe is doing its best to combat the problem by turning everyday trash into beautiful hair accessories. Sure, some of it looks a little weird, but their elaborate accessories definitely turn heads. The Bussiness tribe in Ethiopia collects bottle caps, old broken watches, and feathers and turns them into hair ornaments with specific meanings for their tribe. Young girls and children have basic wigs made of bottle caps, while the oldest women in the tribe have the heaviest, largest wigs with the most embellishments. Men can wear bottle-top wigs until they get married. After marriage, they can wear clay headpieces with harlequin patterns and a feather. However, they can only wear a feather once they've had a successful hunt or victory over an enemy. Women tend to wear bottle-top wigs with piles of colorful beads. They also have lip piercings with grass in them. The older the woman is, the more extravagant her headpiece is. Some of the oldest women have old watch straps dangling off theirs. Finding enough bottle tops and beads to make a wig can take several weeks or even months. It can then take several more weeks to actually make the headpieces once the tribespeople have everything they need. As they say, one man's trash is another man's elaborate tribal headpiece. Before moving on to the next point, I'd like to take a moment to introduce you all to my merchandise. You can support my content by getting your favorite products from my store or by simply joining my channel. Your support means a lot to me. Now, let's get back to the video. Number 4. Head shaping. When you see people with misshapen heads in Africa, you might assume they have an illness of some kind. However, skull deformities are quite typical among the Mangbetu people from the northeast part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. These people practice head elongation from birth. Babies have their heads bound with cloth to create a specific shape. When they become adults, they wrap their hair around woven basket frames to make their heads look even longer. These skull deformities are seen as symbols of beauty and social standing, representing power and prestige. This tradition has been happening since ancient times. The more deformed your skull, the more intelligent you could seem. The process is called lipombo and starts around 1 month after a baby is born. It continues for several years until the preferred head shape is achieved. European colonists outlawed the practice when they invaded in the 1950s, but some Mangbetu tribe members still practice it today. While you might think that mishaping a head like that must be dangerous, some experts say it often isn't. They suggest that the brain can adapt and develop into a skull of most shapes, as the brain is an elastic organ. Number 5. Shaved heads. When you picture a woman, you probably imagine her with hair, don't you? Most women around the world have long hair, or at least some hair, but that's not always the case in Africa. While it's not always the case anywhere, many women in Africa shave their hair off, a practice dating back to Egyptian times. Both men and women in ancient Egypt would shave their heads to stay clean and beat the heat. Women would wear wigs but went to great lengths to keep their entire bodies free of hair. It's not uncommon to find Egyptian women's tombs containing razors, knives, and tweezers for this task. The Kenyan Maasai tribe isn't much different. They shave their heads bald or wear close-cropped hairstyles. Men, on the other hand, often have quite elaborate hairstyles and will spend hours styling and grooming themselves. In this tribe, a man's long hair represents masculine beauty, protection, and strength. In many African schools today, girls are required to keep their hair cut short, as it is believed that hair upkeep can be a distraction and a cropped head helps them remain clean. Number 6. Skin bleaching. Should all feel comfortable in our own skin, but many African people prefer to have lighter skin. The World Health Organization reported in 2011 that 40% of African women bleach their skin. The figures are much higher in Nigeria at 77%, 59% in Togo, and 35% in South Africa. One business owner who sells skin lightening creams said that whiteness means purity. South African singer Mashoza initially decided to bleach her skin to address hyperpigmentation, which are dark patches on the skin. She then liked how it looked and decided to maintain an overall lighter complexion. Now, such bleaching products are catching on, and many people are using different creams, lotions, potions, and pills to make their skin lighter. However, the World Health Organization warns that skin bleaching can be dangerous. It can lead to kidney and liver damage, cancer, psychosis, and brain damage in fetuses. In recent years, skincare companies in African countries like Ghana have been making products to appeal to pregnant women, advertising that their products might help lighten their baby's skin in utero. So why is this trend so popular? Some people believe that whiteness is a universal standard of progress. Others want to access the social status and privileges that white people often have easier access to. Rhodes University teacher Shinji Taro, who teaches a course on the politics of skin bleaching, said that light skin can be what men want, making it sensible for some women to conform to these standards to increase their chances of getting married. We've all got our own cultures and traditions, so what's seen as beautiful in one culture can be vastly different in another. In your culture, what do you believe the beauty standards are? We'd love to hear your thoughts about beauty standards in general in the comments. So, that was all for today. I hope you have watched the video up to this timestamp. Make sure to press the like button if it amazed you. Press the subscribe button if you still haven't subscribed to the channel, as it's totally free. You can follow me on all social media platforms. All links are given in the description. You can also watch other cool stuff. The playlist link is also mentioned in the description. I will catch you up soon in the next video. Till then, peace out.